This evening, new Demerara River crossing financing agreement finalized, construction to begin soon. Tragedy on Unity Public Road, infant loses life in fatal accident. 2 men remanded to prison for the murder of city businessman during robbery. In the region, Lula sworn in as president of divided Brazil amid tight security, and internationally, Nigeria oil crisis, unprecedented levels of theft cost millions. Welcome to another edition of Channel 2's Headline News Update. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. In our top story today, we have updates on the progress of the new Demerara River crossing. This major project, expected to alleviate traffic issues and improve connectivity in Guyana significantly, is making headway with finalizing its financing agreement. Public Works Minister Bishop One Edgehill has announced that the financing agreement for the construction of the new Demerara River crossing has been finalized to the tune of $52 billion. The contract was initially signed by the Public Works Ministry on May 25, 2022 and awarded to China Railway Construction Corporation Limited. This long-awaited project is a key part of the government's plan to modernize and expand Ghana's transport infrastructure and aims to alleviate the frequent traffic issues on the east and west bank of Demerara. The new hybrid design bridge will feature a 4-lane structure with a cycle lane and is expected to be completed within 2 years. The current Demerara Harbour Bridge, which has exceeded its lifespan by more than 40 years, requires hundreds of millions of dollars in repairs yearly due to the mechanical and other issues. The new bridge will provide improved connectivity to the east bank of Demerara Road, the Diamond to Ogle Bypass Road on the eastern side of the river, and the Parika to Schoonard Road on the western side. Police are investigating a fatal accident which claimed the life of a 6-month-old baby girl on the Unity Public Road, East Coast Demerara, during the early hours of Monday, January 2, 2023. Inquiries disclosed that around 1:30 a.m., motorcar PNN 8403, driven by Akeem Jerricks of Sparinam Housing Scheme, East Coast Demerara, was proceeding west along the southern drive lane of the Unity Public Road with 4 occupants: 27-year-old Duquan Khan, his wife, a 4-year-old, and a 6-month-old Davina Khan. Motorcar PVV 2649, driven by 31-year-old Devin Butts of Maikoni, East Coast Demerara, was proceeding east along the public road. Butts allegedly fell asleep and lost control of his car. As a result, the motorcar driven by Butts collided with the front portion of motorcar PNN 8403. Both drivers and occupants were taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where the 6-month-old child was pronounced dead on arrival. The other persons involved in the accident were treated for injuries. Both vehicles were lodged to be examined as investigations continues. Andrew Ridley of Campbell Street, Alboyston, Georgetown, and Aquilo Marshall of Independence Boulevard, East Le Penitence, were both remanded to jail when they appeared at the Georgetown Magistrates Court today, January 3rd, to answer to the murder of city businessman Shimron Adams. The duo appeared before Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan and was not required to plead to the charge, which alleged that on December 27, 2022, at Durban and Chapel Street, Georgetown, they murdered Adams during the course of furtherance of a robbery. Court heard that Adams operated a liquor store at Durban and Chapel Street in North Georgetown. Reports said that around 11:30 p.m., Adams closed his business place and opened the shutters for him and his female companion to leave when 2 males, one armed with a handgun, entered the building and ordered him to lie on the ground. The unarmed suspect took off the businessman's gold band and finger ring and attempted to take his bag. Adams continued holding onto the bag to prevent the suspect from taking it. The suspect, armed with the firearm, then discharged a round at Adams, which struck him in his right abdomen. He fell to the ground and remained unconscious until he was rushed to the hospital and pronounced dead. A ballistics test confirmed a gun found at Ridley's home was the same weapon that was used to kill Adams. Reports said that Ridley is the boyfriend of the woman who was the female companion of the dead man at the time of the robbery murder. The men will return to court on February 2, 2023. Stick around after the break. Corriverton woman arrested for fatally stabbing her lover during a domestic dispute, and Guyana plans to transform energy sector with oil wealth.
your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Welcome back. Guyana is looking to transform its energy sector with the help of its oil wealth. The government plans to replace carbon-based fuels with renewable energy sources to cut power costs by half. This will be made possible by investing monies earned from the sales of crude oil. In 2022, the government invested over $1.4 billion in the construction of solar farms in various regions, bringing much-needed power to Amerindian villages that previously relied on diesel generators or had no access to power. The government also plans to provide 30,000 solar home systems to communities distant from the national grid and is exploring further avenues for sustainable energy development. This is all part of the government's long-term plan for Guyana's energy sector, as outlined by President Dr. Mohamed Irfan in an interview with Al Jazeera. The solar and sustainable energy sector is expected to see significant growth in the coming years. A 25-year-old woman, Lucretia Garnett, is in police custody after she fatally stabbed her common-law partner following a domestic dispute on Sunday, December 31st, 2022. Dead is 25-year-old Jason Bonat, a laborer of Middle Street, Princeton, Corriverton, Berbice. Inquiries disclosed that the couple lived together. According to reports, the couple was at Garnett's mother's home for a family function when an argument erupted between her and Bowman. The man reportedly slapped Garnett twice in her face. The couple subsequently left to go home. The argument, however, continued as the couple returned home, and Bonat is said to have slapped Garnett again. In response, Garnett armed herself with a kitchen knife and stabbed Bonat once in the left side of his chest. He was rushed to the Skeldon Public Hospital and later transferred to the New Amsterdam Hospital, where he died while receiving treatment. Garnett is currently in police custody, assisting with the investigations. The incident occurred sometime around midnight on Sunday, and police are continuing to investigate the circumstances surrounding Bonat's death. The Ghana Elections Commission will commence a continuous registration exercise for eligible persons on January 3, 2023 at all of its permanent registration offices in the 10 administrative regions. This registration exercise will conclude on May 31, 2023. During this registration exercise, any person who will be 14 years and older by June 30, 2023 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, can apply for registration providing they were never registered. Existing registrants desirous of updating their records, such as requests to correct or change their names, date of birth, occupation, and address, are advised that those transactions will also be facilitated during this exercise. Persons desirous of conducting any registration transaction, whether new registration or changes or corrections to their particulars, must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for their area of residence with the relevant documentation. For further information, you can visit GCOM's website, check them on Facebook, or call the numbers on the screen. Then going after the break, Nigeria oil crisis, unprecedented levels of theft cost millions, and Chinese return to regular activities amid COVID surge.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables, We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton, and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Give your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Luis Inácio Lula da Silva has been sworn in as Brazil's new president, with thousands in attendance to witness the inauguration of the left-wing leader, widely known as Lula. It is the third time he has held the nation's highest office, a post won after a closely fought elections. Al Jazeera's Lucia Newman reports.
Newly sworn-in President Luis Inácio Lula da Silva walked up the ramp of the presidential palace, flanked by members of Brazil's diverse society, including an indigenous leader, a black woman, a disabled man, a child, and a rubbish collector. It was a symbolic gesture. They shared the task of bestowing Lula the presidential sash, in lieu of outgoing President Jair Bolsonaro, who refused to recognize his successor.
We will use the weapons that our adversaries fear the most, the truth that prevails over lies, hope that conquers fear, and love that defeats hatred.
Thousands of supporters from all over Brazil had come to witness the return of the man they call the people's president. Firemen doused them with water to help overcome heat and exhaustion. Many, like Tatiana and Adriana, had arrived before dawn.
We've been waiting for 4 years for democracy, for the Brazilian people to eat and have jobs.
Lula's political comeback is nothing short of extraordinary. In 2018, he was sentenced to a nearly 13-year prison term for corruption, although he was later released after his sentence was overturned. 8 kilometers from the palace, fierce opponents camped near a military barracks, refusing to recognize their left-wing president. They vow to continue resisting Lula, who won by a very small margin in a bitterly fought election. But his supporters are overjoyed. Lula himself was overcome with emotion when he spoke of ending hunger among the poor.
Lines of people at the doors of butcher shops looking for bones to alleviate hunger, while at the same time others wait to buy imported cars and private jets. Such a social chasm is an obstacle to the building of a truly just, democratic society.
Lula is promising to reinstate most of the social programs that made him so popular during his first 2 terms. He has awoken tremendously high expectations amongst Brazilians, and that's always dangerous because there are expectations that he may not be able to meet.
Lula's powerful opponents, led by former President Bolsonaro, are determined to thwart his government at every turn, leaving the new president little time to celebrate. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Brasilia.
Internationally, Nigeria is facing unprecedented levels of theft of its main export. The oil theft is costing the country an estimated $700 million a month. The losses are forcing the government to borrow more to fund a growing budget deficit. Al Jazeera's Ahmed Idris reports.
Caught in the act. a foreign vessel found stealing crude oil deep inside the creeks of the Niger Delta. Within 2 days, officials decided its fate. Vessels like this, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, can end up in flames. Officials hope this will send a strong message to all thieves.
Security situation is not good. I am the first to tell you it's not good at all, because there is a lot of theft, but it is also not beyond us.
Setting such vessels on fire is a rare act. Most are confiscated and later released. Methods of stealing Nigeria's crude oil are becoming increasingly sophisticated, and security operatives are struggling to keep up. In the past 3 months, officials have made significant discoveries. Major crude export pipelines have been illegally tapped. These 2 pipelines were found running a distance of 4 kilometers into the Atlantic Ocean. Thieves have used them to steal oil and load it onto supertankers. A parliamentary investigation found Nigeria lost more than $2 billion in the first half of 2022. 500,000 barrels were stolen daily during that time in small and large-scale operations, both on and offshore. Officials here say that money could have addressed Nigeria's growing budget deficit and widespread poverty. Nigeria has lost so much oil that the country has lost its position as Africa's biggest producer. Analysts say the looting of Nigeria's oil is being carried out by rogue security operatives, officials and local communities working together.
Because of failure of leadership, corruption issues within the system, and the issue of punishment that is not exerted on those who participate in oil theft.
The loss of oil revenue has forced the government to take on more borrowing to finance its needs.
And that is dangerous to the entire country, the investment climate in Nigeria, and the viability of our government. It's consistently going to weaken the government's ability to perform.
Nigeria has contracted local security agencies to secure pipelines and revamped a task force to tackle oil theft. But many analysts say it can only be stopped by tackling corruption and effectively managing the production and supply of oil. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, the Niger Delta.
And finally, as COVID-19 measures are eased in China, life in major cities is starting to return to normal after the sudden easing of restrictions triggered a surge in coronavirus infections in recent weeks. Al Jazeera's Katrina Yu reports.
In wintry Beijing, the pace of life is picking up. People are enjoying being outdoors after weeks of staying inside after a widespread COVID-19 outbreak. Yao Sanfu sells traditional sweets from his cart. He welcomed the lifting of restrictions in December.
It's good. They've ended all the restrictions. Everyone can come out now. It's good for the country. If you are always in lockdown, you have no income.
He says business is better now than it's been in years. The 67-year-old had COVID-19 last month. Many of the people we spoke to in this neighborhood have told us they also caught the virus.
At least 70 to 80% of people in this area got COVID. One after another, we all got sick.
For those who have recovered, life has returned to normal. Tests and health card scans are no longer required to enter restaurants and public spaces.
Tuesday is the first working day of 2023 and the streets here are busier than they've been in months. Many businesses have reopened and most workers have returned to the office.
But it's not just the streets that are crowded. Hospitals are full of people seeking treatment for COVID-19. The Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention says less than 500,000 people have been infected nationwide. But scientists say cases are dramatically underreported. The government insists the situation is under control.
Nationwide, our medical resources have not yet reached the situation of tight supply. We have anticipated a substantial increase in demand, so we are well prepared.
For those who are healthy, there's relief that the years of lockdowns are behind them. And many are looking forward to a new sense of normalcy. Katrina Yu, Al Jazeera, Beijing.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 30-minute forecast. That is all for this edition of Channel 2's Headline News Update. Tune in on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.